Welcome to Inspiring Insurance. Our goal is to provide value to the insurance industry through real life experiences from insurance professionals who have walked the walk. You can expect to hear story sharing, top tips, and practical advice to help you grow and succeed in your career. We hope you enjoy this episode's guest. Welcome back to Inspiring Insurance. This week we are joined by Matt Whitley, who is Sydney based. Matt works for PSC Insurance Brokers as a senior account exec and offshore operations manager. Thanks for joining me today, Matt.
Thanks, Nathan.
You are welcome. How's the day? How's the Sydney winter going for you, mate?
Yeah, sunny Sydney this
Sunny
week.
Sydney. Awesome, mate. Well, let's get going into everything. I'd love you to give us a bit of an overview of your journey. We always kick this off. How did you get into the industry? What's the backstory for you?
For me, always loved businesses as a child, and went to my mum and said I want to be in business, want to learn about businesses, and I was fortunate enough to have some great mentors, and I was given some direction that there's two industries, accounting and insurance brokers, where businesses will share and business owners will share everything or their full business details too. So off the back of that, I went and did an accounting degree, and started insurance when I was 13 with some work experience in Horsell in Sydney. Doing the first meeting I ever went to, 13-year-old, went into Zurich to negotiate to have hail damage included to a major caravan dealership based in Newcastle. So that was a wide open, and then eyes wide open. And then after that, went back to the Sydney office and negotiated the price of ink for the printers for the entire company. So that just opened the doors of the operations and insurance world.
Yeah, nice. So walk me through your first couple of years in insurance then. What were you doing?
Yeah, so obviously I was still in school, so I was fortunate enough to bounce around from all different insurance brokers around the country, some in Wollongong, some down in Melbourne, Darwin, and each of these brokerages specialized in different risks and different businesses that their clients had. So for me, it was, Shepparton was the heavy transport, Wollongong was the bowling alleys, and and those niche markets taught a lot, but also gave me the experience to go, okay, this is what I like and what I don't. And then after that, I started working for various different brokers, and went, some specializing in different niches, aviation, rail, and then and managing claims. So I did claims for a local brokerage, which I ended up buying their business later down the track. But the business that I did the claims for, when I went in there, they were fully manual with the claims. There was 300 open claims. When I left there was 20 open claims, fully online. So that was a bit of an achievement.
Yeah, wow. How good. How good. So that was the first kind of, I guess, part of your journey. And then where fast forward to now, where are we at now?
Okay, so when I left that brokerage that we did the claims in, I was working for a few different brokers, one of which was PSC AR. So I had an opportunity to buy that business. So my mum and I purchased that business. We sold it on the same day. We brought options agreements to buy more shares in the company. And we merged in with another guy, all on the same day, to become a PSC AR. We're in AR for 8 years. We've then sold that book, moved it into becoming a PSC branch and a part of the branch business. And then throughout that journey of becoming a branch, that's led me, using my Manila team and our offshore processing's led me into helping the rest of the group with their Manila operations.
Yeah, cool, cool. And so just for those who might be listening to this that don't know, how would you describe your role on a day-to-day these days?
Um, Predominant focus is clients,
Yeah.
and managing my book of clients and my business. Then the back to that is I assist the branch manager with operational type tasks in the branch and the P&Ls and the budgets. And then the other part of my role is helping all the branches across Australia with their Manila operations. Now, the Manila ops for me is high level,
Mm.
strategic based, and we're just building processes and templates and systems into how those guys operate and assist our brokers locally and our broker assistants locally.
Yeah, nice, nice. And I find that it's quite common these days for brokerages to be investing in having some offshore sort of support. Obviously, you do it on a day to day. So, what sort of challenges do you see that comes from trying to manage a team in another country?
For me, I'm very fortunate that even though they are my team, they're not my team at the same time. How we've structured ours, which is very different to most outsourced structures. Outsourced structures are normally central service models. Ours isn't. Ours are all aligned with the individual branches and aligned with individual brokers and portfolios of clients, which um, adds some ownership to each of those staff members along with their books, and they're managing their portfolios that they're aligned with. So that takes the responsibility off me and puts it back to the branches. So that saves me a lot of time. But I think a challenge is understanding that these guys they're working from another location,
Mm.
and whilst you don't have that office banter or sitting next to each other in the office, you need to still do that with these staff. Ask them on a Friday, what are you doing on the weekend, and then on a Monday have that chat with them about what they did over the weekend. Very vital, build that personal relationship, because they are a part of the team like any other assistant would be.
Yeah, yeah, sure, sure, sure. And obviously, with having an offshore team, you need to manage all of the compliance coming out of that office as well for you. How do you embed a culture of compliance with your offshore team?
Yeah, so compliance is paramount in what we do. So,
Mm.
and we need to be very careful with that. So, we've got multiple layers of structure around our compliance and how we're doing it. We've got our guys being tier two qualified. We've got it that the work comes back to a responsible broker or a broker that's actually in charge of that portfolio. So before any work is sent directly to a client, it's all checked by that broker. These guys are broker assistants or assistants to our assistants here locally. So uh, it's no different to any other assistant that you'd have sitting in an office to us, and that's that makes us different and makes us special with our team is we treat it exactly the same as we would a local assistant.
Yeah, nice. So just that extra extension of your business, really.
Yeah, and for us, it's the industry is moving at such a pace. We've got, I think it was the ICA said that 30% of our industry is going to retire or leave in the next 10 years. So we've got a major gap happening where we've got four generations of brokers in our business, um, with four different ways of doing it or communicating with clients. We've got, you know, Gen Z are all, they want the AI, they want the automations, and they want systems, and they want to work from home. Um, but then we have the baby boomers that are here that want to pick up the phone and have that personal relationship with the clients. So that in itself is a challenge, and Manila probably or offshoring probably adds to that challenge moving forward of what are we going to do as an industry? Where's our pipeline of new brokers going to come from when we don't have? But I think the guys at the ICA have got some good promos happening at the moment, really trying to drive brokers into the industry and people back in. And we do the same thing. We've got, even in my own branch, I'm an absolute advocate for offshore, but we also have junior brokers in our business that we're teaching up and training because that is the future of where we're at. We need these senior brokers in the business later on, so let's build them.
Yeah, nice. Do you see a scenario where the offshore team, get relocated to Australia and start working locally in the business?
I haven't thought of that.
Yeah,
There's no reason to say no, but we've also got some great talent here in Australia. So um, yeah, we'll just work with what we've got and challenges as they arise.
yeah, sure, sure, sure. What do you see as some of the biggest operational challenges that the insurance industry is facing right now?
The adoption of tech and how we
Mm.
use that tech is definitely a challenge. We're very reliant on legacy systems, and our
Mm.
systems are built with such cultural standing in our businesses that they've been that way for such a long time. And then we've got the push of Gen Z coming in, wanting the automations, wanting the systems, wanting more connectivity and faster. Um, I think the challenge is also going to be where the benefit comes from. And if we do adopt some of this and keep those personal relationships with the clients, pick up the phone and have that part, but also have the part that maybe Gen Z is pushing, which is the automation. It means we can spend more time with our clients and more time actually delivering and understanding what our clients need and then finding that from the underwriters. At the moment, I'm working with a company that is an AI, doing some consulting work with an AI company around policies and how uh, their reviews of those policies work, and just giving some advice on that.
Mm.
This is what a broker needs. This is what a broker. Well, these are the thing. These key items, the industry codes, these endorsements. It's that knowledge that we've probably lost by not having sitting in an office. Needs to be, if we are adopting a AI or a smarter systems approach, we need that information coming back to us that has that knowledge before these guys retire. We need to build out their knowledge base.
Sure, sure. Aside from the AI side of things, like how have you seen the industry evolve, or what have been the biggest changes you've seen over the last, say, 10 years?
For me, it's the systems. The systems has been the biggest change.
Yeah.
Whilst we do have legacy systems, we have a lot of insurers, or we have that are adopting smarter systems. We've got a lot, and that's not just AI. It's just different platforms that they're building on, and the disconnect probably in our industry is the disconnect between each of the systems and how they relate into each other. Some being smart new systems versus the old legacy systems. So yeah, that'd be the biggest change moving forward for me is the tech, and I've seen that slowly throughout.
Yeah. And I'm sure the tech will continue to evolve and continue to change as time goes on as well. So
Yeah, and there's pros to being
Mhm.
first to market on this tech stuff, but that also comes at a cost, and the cost is normally a lot higher at the beginning versus sitting back and waiting and then buying a pre-built tech that someone's already ironed out all the bugs and it comes at a cheaper price. So um, getting that right balance of when we adopt is important.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Looking back over your career, what has been your biggest learning? What's your biggest takeaway from your time in insurance?
Insurance is a cracker of an industry. I'm very fortunate to be in insurance. I absolutely love it. It excites me. Uh, for me, I struggle to read and write. So building systems, workflows, templates has been a way for me to work around what my challenges are. But it's also been what's driven me to succeed the most inside our industry is those
Yeah.
exact same things.
Yeah, sure. I hope you don't mind me asking, but how do you, I guess, manage that in terms of the learning and the reading and the writing while still staying on top of all the industry regulations and everything?
Yeah, use reading as an example. I can read. It
Mm.
just, for me to read, I have to read something 9 times to comprehend it. So
Sure.
it just takes a lot longer.
Mhm.
I even through my accounting degree, I had readers and writers helping me with that. But um, at work, I have assisted technology that assists me in reading my emails to me. So I'll have my
Mhm.
headphones in, and my emails will just be dictated to me. I'll dictate my emails back.
Yeah.
That speeds up a lot using templates that have been pre-written, and then I've only got to fill in the blanks. That
Mm.
speeds it up a fair bit. So I'm not the content or the detail for each individual client has to be written in each and
Mm.
every time, but the structure and where it sits is templated, and that's what speeds it up for me to make me as efficient as any other broker or not sitting behind the pack there.
Sure. Is there any advice that you might be able to input to someone who might be in a similar situation as yourself?
I think for me, the biggest benefit I've had is I've had some great mentors
Hmm.
throughout my career, and
Yeah.
I still do. And the mentors change over time. I at the moment I've got two very good mentors that I work with on a regular basis, and they know exactly where I want to go and what I want for my future. I'm very clear with them with that, and they're very clear back, going, "Okay, well, you need to do this, this, and this," and they consistently are challenging me with new tasks and new processes to build upon. I think
Mm.
that's key.
Yeah, sure. So many people keep saying that there's such an importance of having a good mentor in this industry, and it will set you up for success. So you're just reinforcing the word, which is awesome.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, for sure.
what's been the Yeah, for sure. What's been the highlight of your career so far?
For me, I am very fortunate enough that I get to work with both my brother and my mum in
Hmm.
our business.
Hmm.
That's rewarding in the respect that I get to see other brokers come up and grow and succeed. But working alongside my brother's great because I work next to him every day, and he's now running his own portfolio. He's um, at a level where he could take over my whole book and run with it because he's at that skill level now, and that's the proud moment because it's how much energy you put into someone else and be their mentor and help them through. And when it's your own family, that's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. It's funny because I think some people would probably have a different opinion on working so closely with their family, and you've obviously made it work, and you seem really proud about it, which is really cool to see. Is there anything that you had to, like, a power struggle or anything that you went through at one period that you had to overcome?
Yeah, working with Gaz, my mum was always well. To start with, I had to call her mum, and when it was personal, it was always mum. But
Yeah.
when it's work and we're talking about budgets or P&Ls, or we're talking about debtors or anything business related, what we get business planning, it's
Mm.
Gaz. Now, the
Yeah.
challenge that I had when I first started was I had to learn how to call her Kaz. So I had to call her Kaz all the time, 100% of the time. Now I'm very fluent in, if it's a personal thing, I'll call her mum. If it's a business thing, I'll call her Kaz. So
Yeah, cool. What do you think you'd be doing now if you weren't in insurance?
I'd be in insurance.
You'd just be in insurance. That's it.
That's it.
Wouldn't do anything else. Uh,
Yeah.
no, that's cool.
But love it.
What do you love about the industry so much?
With as back to the beginning, this is looping back to the beginning of the conversation, that there's not
Mm.
many industries, there's accounting and there's broking, where you get to learn all about the client's business and how it operates. And I think having that knowledge of clients and then being able to assist them in minimizing their risk, and delivering them
Yeah.
solutions on their insurance and their insurance program is rewarding. You see the claims go through and they're paid, or and building those relationships with the client. Most rewarding off the back of that is client referrals. Um,
Mm.
you work so hard with the client, and you're so passionate about a client, and then that client then goes and sends you their friends or other businesses to organise their insurance. That's probably the biggest award that we've won and continue to win in our business, is referrals from existing clients. Um, for me, it's to the extent that I'll go out and I'll make sure I buy my client shirts, and I'll walk around on weekends with all different client shirts on. And that just shows that's the passion that I have for my clients, that their business succeeds, my business succeeds, and where I can, I'll always put clients together to work together because again, they're succeeding together, and it makes us succeed.
Yeah, cool. I love that. And do you actively ask for those referrals, or is it usually just a recommendation which they've given to you?
Uh, It's recommendation predominantly. Having that conversation with the clients around referrals happens as well. That's part of the
Yep.
sales process for us, but they happen organically because the clients know where we're at and how we operate. But we make that very clear. This is our value add. This is how we operate. This is our system. And in return, they give us clients back because that's how they can help us. And we're continuously helping them in ways that we can by putting businesses together to do business together.
Yeah, cool. Do you have maybe you don't want to answer this, but what's your secret sauce? How do you go about asking for a good referral?
Do a good job.
Yeah.
Do a good job to the client, and then they want to give you the referral. They continuously are, do you want it?
Yeah, I love that. Awesome.
And I think that's about the positioning of that referral. So if the clients are always willing to give it, or they have been fortunate enough that clients are willing to give referrals. It's just when that conversation comes up, it's about positioning what the ideal referral is. And they might not always have that type of referral. Where they do, that's where it wins for both parties.
Sure. Oh, mate. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. I think this is great. We haven't had someone who's kind of been in the offshore world as yet. So I think there'll be a lot of takeaways for some people listening to this. So really keen to see where that offshore operation takes you. And thanks for being a guest, mate.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks, man.
Thanks for listening. A big thank you to our guest, and we hope you found some value from this episode's chat. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to send it to a mate and hit follow so you don't miss what's next. I'm Nathan Anning, Director and Insurance Recruiter at Impact Talent Australia. Catch you next time.